Yeah, stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Stacking my coin, stacking my coin.
Yes, your boy Crypto Blood. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. We're getting it in tonight, Off the Chain, episode 56. We got Trekk with 2Ks, a newcomer. He's been on my show before. I've been on their show, The Gentleman of Crypto. King Bless, one half of Gentleman of Crypto, will be on with us tonight. And we got Alan Hena. We always love his candid remarks regarding everything crypto. So enjoy, sit back, relax. We're going to get started here in a second.
Trying to chase those bread, though the shit won't last. About to shut the city down like a crypto crash. Stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Stacking my coin.
Shout out to everyone in the chat rooms. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get it.
Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash.
Smoking on that crippy got me cliff high. Steam pot, heat rock, slingshot. Surfing through the city while them chips ride. Hot boy, do it big time. LMA with my summer bay, we booed up. Cali hit the bay, we fly MIA, we pulled up. Sipping on this drink, bitch, I know the way. We juiced up, nigga, violate. Boy, daddy bout them chips, nigga, rap snacks. Face all in a box, nigga, Snapchat. Fucking with the ops to get you clapped.
Tonight we're going to be talking about Tesla buying $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. I think they already bought it. This is definitely a, tell you after the fact type of situation. We also got Celebs shilling Dogecoin again. We got, your boy Doge, Snoop Doge is his name now, I guess. Snoop Doge, or aka Snoop Dogg, is now a Dogecoin believer. And of course, Elon Musk again added on Twitter with the Dogecoin shilling. NFT sales on Ethereum hitting $80 million worth of sales. This is going crazy. And we got some real monkey wrench type of articles tonight. One from an astronomer that's saying that aliens have visited us. We'll try to get to that if we can. Interesting topic though, for sure. Make sure you guys stick around. Yeah.
Stacking my coin, stacking my coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Stacking my coin, stacking my coin.
Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Okay. Ready? Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it live tonight, people. How's everyone doing? I got some of my crypto friends in the house. One is from the Detroit 313 area. Let's get him in first. Show him some love. King Bless. What's good?
Hey, listen, I'm gonna go through the hole. I'm going through the hole. Who really from the D? We about to find out. We really, even new school. Hit him with the new.
Yeah. Hit him with the.
Who really from the city is what I want to know.
What's going on, King Bless? If you guys aren't familiar with King, he is one half of the Gentleman of Crypto. They do shows every day. What's going on, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me, CB. As always, happy to be back, man. It's been way too long. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And of course, you guys know this one, 10 Pound.
Hey, what's
He's
going
in the
on?
building. What's going on, 10 Pound?
Hey, how y'all doing, man? I'm just over here kicking it, chilling. Good to be back. I appreciate you.
For sure. Absolutely. And last but not least, maybe least, I don't know. He kind of gave some EOS some love in the chat room in the Twitter DM. So we're gonna talk about that one, bro.
All right. Okay.
Alan Hena, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, what's up? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm doing it tonight, guys, because we had the Super Bowl last night. I didn't want to interrupt, that greatness that was on display. 7 rings, fellas. Tom Brady, is he the GOAT or is he the GOAT?
Greatest ever. Is there any sweeter justice than your team of your entire career be like, nah, and then you come back, go to another conference and win? There's nothing better.
I mean, bro, let's just hope that he didn't deflate some of those footballs. You know what I'm saying? Yo, how you guys feel? I'm just kidding. This is a joke, bro. But still, I gotta ask though, what do you guys think about those sort of like outrage about him supporting Trump and not wearing a mask?
Who cares?
Bro, I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
Who cares?
Bro, apparently, half of America supported Trump. So you know.
So I always say that too. I tell people that in California, I'm like, the fact that people in the South don't understand Californians and the fact that Californians don't understand people in the South is the problem. But I was like, half the country voted for each person.
Right.
You may hate them, but come on, man, 74 million something people voted for Trump, regardless of what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a fluke.
People just love outrage, man. That's why I'm convinced. Like they just love outrage. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So is he the GOAT of GOATs? Like I have to at this point. I have to put him above Jordan.
Name what? Oh, you talking about sports?
Yeah. Like
I don't know about that. I was talking about football.
Wait a minute.
I'm talking about football. Okay, but if you start talking about all sports, that's a different conversation.
It is, bro. He's been to 10 out of the 50 Super Bowls.
I don't think
he won 7 of them.
That's the hardest thing to get in sports, almost. Like, granted, you got Mayweather 50. You got Tiger Woods, but talking about multiple Super Bowls, 2 dynasties, 7 now out of 10. That's crazy.
Yeah, Bitcoin is the GOAT.
Bitcoin Ben.
What's going on, Bitcoin Ben?
He said Bitcoin is the GOAT. You're absolutely right about that, Bitcoin Ben. So I don't know, Alan. I think your boy is supersedes all athletes at this point.
It's arguable. I'm not saying it. I'm saying no, but it's arguable. It's not like you like Charles Barkley is the greatest athlete ever, and we're all like, hell no, that ain't the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. So tonight, guys, we have a nice list of topics to talk about. Where do you guys want to start? Dogecoin, Tesla.
Let's talk about Dogecoin. Dogecoin won the Super Bowl. All right, that's the way it is.
Hey, man,
that's like Dogecoin 8th ring. He got more rings than Tom Brady.
You know what's funny to me about Dogecoin? I don't have any. I've never even owned Dogecoin, but I love the fact that it seems to be a lot driven by like network effect, people, hype, TikTok, social media. Like that's great to me. I don't really care what coin it happens on, but that's great. And people are hating on it. I'm like, man, when you get a demonstration of network effect, people that are sort of organizing and coalescing together, that's great.
Bro, people are going to start buying their Teslas with Dogecoin. I'm telling you.
It's serious. To me, it's a serious. People like the joke. It's a serious crypto to me.
Bless. What do you think about this Dogecoin shilling? And we got Snoop Dogg now. He's Snoop Doge. Is this dangerous? Is this dangerous or what?
I'm going to sound like the old man in the room because when it comes to Snoop and them, I am like, that's not the way you can do crypto. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, it's not about celebrities type of deal. But just Doge, so I do think that part is dangerous. To me, when you see celebrities start Snoop Doge and all that, to me, it says top. And for Doge, we may have seen, even if it's a 48 hour, 72 hour one, we may have seen a quick little top. For me, I went ahead and trade out of it today. I've been telling people about Doge now for years as strictly more of a pump and dump coin, not necessarily a pump and dump coin. I don't want to say like that, but I've told people like Doge has a community around it. If you ever lurked on Bitcoin forum and stuff, especially before 2017, that forum was super active when it came to Doge. So my thing is they always have a community. It will always be a pump and dump involved in Doge. The last few weeks, however, really the last couple of months, I've been telling people about Doge is because as the market was gearing up for this big bull run we've been seeing, I was like, I guarantee you almost it's going to pump. I've been telling people that the last few weeks. And then after seeing it the last 2 weeks, again, I told people about last week, the pump happened. It dipped back down to 3 cents. Told people again, I'm like, it's not done. We just saw 8 cents. I think right now in the short term, we are done with Doge. I think it will run out of steam. If not right now, maybe at around 9 or 10, 11 cents. But as I told people also, when it was at a penny and it went to 3 cents to 8 cents or whatever, and then back down, I was like, I actually do see it going to $1 because of market psychology. People are trading it based on the price of it, not knowing anything about the fundamentals or the, how it's trended in the past. We actually pulled up the chart today. All it does is pump and dump throughout its history. So with that being said, is on all these exchanges, people think it's a cheap buy. I think they were going to pump it up to 10 cents, which we essentially saw at 8, 9 cents. And once it hits 10 cents, it's going to eventually hit $1. If not later this year, then next year, but it will hit $1 just off of market psychology itself.
It's crazy.
I see you got a smart guess on. Is that me? Oh, I agree with everything you said about Doge. Like, it could easily hit $1. Market psychology is not just always about the fundamentals. To me, market psychology, money, and all that's all fundamentals as well. So I can see Doge hitting $1. I don't own it. I don't intend to buy it, but I can see it hitting $1 for sure. Not, within
10 pounds, $1 on Doge.
Y'all crazy, bro.
Y'all crazy on that one.
Dude, I don't think it's gonna hit $1, maybe 50 cents, but yo, $1, bro. Bro, hear me out, bro. The price floor is 5 cents. Okay, 5 cents. That's what they're spreading around social media. If it dips below 5 cents, you gotta buy that shit up. Like, that's the cult mentality of this coin right now. That's the price floor.
Bro,
the absolute
hold on.
price floor.
I just want to show you guys on that whole see, a lot of people don't realize that. So Dogecoin changed their settings in their core wallet many years ago when they merged mine with Litecoin. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Doge merged mining with Litecoin, but at that point I think it's got an inflationary 5 million tokens a year, just perpetually, right?
Perpetually, no cap.
No cap, and I ain't capping.
So that goes back to what I was. Oh, go ahead, real Alan. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just saying, to me, that's really irrelevant.
Exactly. I was gonna say the same thing. That's why I was like, go ahead. My thing is, I agree with you. Like, from a TA and a fundamental perspective, well, not necessarily a full fundamental, but how we usually look at crypto from fundamental perspective, Dogecoin does not fit the bill. It should not be rising in price like it is. However, it should never have gotten to 10 cents. It should not have gotten to 5 cents. And that's why I told people
these are true statements.
When it started pumping and it was already, when it pumped to 2 to 3 cents, I was like, if this thing, it could go to 10 because it's already at 3. I already know how market psychology is. I was like, if it goes to 10, you better believe it's going to $1. Not saying it won't take another year or so after that. Like I said, I just got out of Doge today. And I do think I might be going back into it this weekend. I think we'll see a nice dip this weekend, like you said, to maybe that 5 cent mark. And who knows, those who buy it again at the 4 to 5 cent mark might be holders for the next 6 months. But again, with the way the market is right now, as aggressive as it is, with as much Dogecoin is everywhere, video games and stuff, the TikTok thing, I think it's just such an easy buy. It doesn't make sense. We could see it keep pumping.
Yep.
I don't disagree. However, if we take a look at, I know you don't, we're in the realm of real, like, over exuberance. We're just irrational with everything right now. But come on, fellas, we got a market. We got a market. We got a circulating supply of 128 billion tokens.
Irrelevant.
Kids don't know it. 9-year-olds don't know that.
Hear me out. Turtle, dude.
Parents' credit card.
Yo, hear me out, bro. Turtle coin is gonna hit $1 before Dogecoin hits $1. I'll die on that.
I trust your judgment. I'm gonna bookmark that too. I'm like, not to.
Yeah, we're gonna remember that one. I don't even know nothing about Turtle. I don't know.
I'm getting Turtle coin tonight because you said that 10 pound.
Hey, bro, this is not financial advice. Turtle coin is gonna hit $1 before Dogecoin hits $1, bro.
Y'all are about as bad as those XRP army cats talking about what $30. What do they call it? $100 XRP.
Okay,
come on, fellas. We got to keep it in the realm of just reality. 128 billion because it has to, the market has to price it correctly, and for it to get there, $1 Dogecoin, but what is Bitcoin at if we got $1 Dogecoin?
Okay, let me ask you this: is Dogecoin on Coinbase yet?
No.
All right, then there we go.
I mean, bro, yeah, you got a good point though, Alan. Like, seriously, they listed
Come on,
XRP
man.
before they listed Dogecoin. Like,
Dude, they don't
look
list
how
it at
that
some
turned
point.
out.
Come on.
I mean, I'm with you, and you're right. I told people today, and this is why I exited the position today. I said if at Dogecoin at 8 cents, or as I just saw Red River Post put bought Doge at 0.023. So still, he essentially, or this person entered the game late on Doge at 2 cents, sold at 8 cents, rolled into a Tesla weekly call spread holla. So great calls they just made. But as I was telling people on our show today, I was like, 8 cent Doge to me is the same as $45,000 Bitcoin. I'm taking some off the top. All right. I think, again, we will see this thing retrace. I think it still might go possibly to 10 or 11, but we'll see it retrace soon. And then that's why I might consider going back into it. But again, this stuff doesn't make sense. I agree with all of you, but it shouldn't have hit 8 cents. That's my thing. Like, it shouldn't even been there. So, yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I would say, King, at what's it at now, right? $10 billion market cap. That is the don't make sense part. Like, we're there. We've arrived.
What did it replace today, too? It replaced Bcash, right? Bcash is officially out. We were smoking on that Bcash pack today. They are
no smoke on the Bcash. I've been loading up on Bcash. You know why? Because it hasn't pumped yet. So
No,
I'm not giving financial advice.
Man.
I've been loading for the last month. It's been in the $400 range. Bitcoin Cash is going to be that next one. Everyone, it's so much money running around. Okay, so why not Bitcoin Cash, Alan, but Dogecoin? I'm confused.
Because I'll tell you why. Network effect, right? All the things we already listed: TikTok, social media, celebrities. No one's got that going for Bitcoin Cash right now. Listen, I chose the Bitcoin Cash side of the debate when they were doing Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and the block size and all that stuff. I was all about Bitcoin Cash. But all I've seen since then, since I entered the space, is a bunch of nothing, a bunch of nonsense from Bitcoin Cash. They haven't added smart contracts. They barely added tokens. It's like, no, there's no community like that behind it. But that means that's why Doge passed it. Litecoin's next. Litecoin even in the top 10. I don't know. It's trash.
King. Throwing shots at him. What's your thought?
With him. For me, Bcash, I don't understand. I am with you, Crypto Blood, from a trading perspective.
Just purely trading, just the name, right?
If it ain't pumped yet, it's game time. I'm
actually game time
tonight too, because you are correct about that. The chance of it not pumping at all,
Come
10
on
or 15%.
10x. No, 10x.
Oh,
listen.
No.
Hell
no. That ain't happening.
I didn't sign up for that, Alan. I did not sign up for that.
10x, Al. Listen.
No.
I'm gonna tell you. Listen.
No way.
When Bitcoin was at 20,000 back in 2017, guess where Bitcoin Cash was?
I remember that hype, man. I remember all of it. I remember
Bitcoin Cash was at $3,800.
I remember that. But my point is that, like, the last 3 years, Bitcoin Cash has developed like nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, I agree. This is not a fundamental. This is not a fundamental play, just like Dogecoin isn't. This is
Dogecoin. But see, you're ignoring You're ignoring network effect. You're ignoring social media, celebrities. It's completely different for Doge. I don't see anybody pumping Bitcoin Cash. So you can't just say it's like Doge, because Doge has some sort of a digital community behind it. It's completely different.
John Hill says, my man Default says, Bitcoin Cash 5K by December.
Keep praying on that one.
I would say keep praying too. I am going to shout out your commenter, Fast Nickel MB. Don't tell anybody. That's one I haven't mentioned recently, but I've been watching it too. I have been watching Digibyte. It's back in the mix. I don't think it's a real project. To be real, I don't think it's going to last. They're good for a pump, and I think last time I checked, they were a couple.
At least
they're a real project.
Digibyte is a real project. So
I knew they were good for a pump. All right, weren't they in the top 10 a few years ago too? Look, I don't got time to keep up with the old coins. No.
10 pound. What's your thoughts on Bitcoin Cash and possibly pumping next?
Roger Ver, Bitcoin Jesus. That man did his very best to start a hash war to literally substantiate them block sizes, right? Okay. And let's not forget ABC, BCH ABC.
Nah, I ain't messing with that.
Of course not. Nobody is. But that's a fork that came out of the Bitcoin Cash community.
Right.
Of course. Like, still, like, it's not even in the top 50 no more. Like, it completely disappeared. Like, where'd it go? It pulled the Houdini, bro.
Okay,
I
gotta. Speaking of where'd it go, where is Roger Ver? I haven't seen him on the scene in a minute, right?
He out there. He doing stuff.
CP. That's what I was gonna tell you. Get your money for it's too late. All right. Don't nobody know where he is, and we know where the.
Hold on a second. I like Roger Ver. I think he's a legit guy. I think he means best. He may have made some mistakes, but that doesn't mean that his intent wasn't in a good place. I just don't think that Roger is someone that knows. He knows how to do one thing, and he knows the mission of how he sees Bitcoin. He doesn't really know how to do a whole lot of other things, which is fine. He brought a lot of people into this space. But once again, I just don't think Bitcoin Cash has done anything to distinguish itself from Bitcoin. And at a certain point, what they should have done was said, all right, forget we're the real Bitcoin. It should have been like, this is what Bitcoin Cash is. And just forgot what Bitcoin was doing and just sort of focused on building their own tech out and forgot that whole war. And I went to their Reddit like 2 months ago, and they're still having an argument. I'm like, hey man, like this is past. Like y'all lost the social consensus on the real Bitcoin. It's over. Give up. But they still there. So
interesting. I hear you.
They're in it for the long haul, man. Like it's a cult. It is what it is.
They're all cults, man.
Yeah. Like Alan said, I think we forget though. Roger Ver did bring a lot of people into this space through business.
Absolutely did.
So I personally thought when he created Bcash until to this day now, today, days like this is what Bcash was made for. It wasn't made to displace Bitcoin. Roger Ver is a businessman. It was made so that a bank or institution or one of these governments could say, this is the way we want to go about it. He doesn't care if it's all a million of them or just one of them and they cash them out. I feel like that's why he made it. And I just don't see anybody cashing out on it now, especially when everybody's trying to have their CBDC.
I think more so it was for consumer grade operations like grocery stores and whatnot.
I think that was a narrative.
Yeah, that was a narrative. Yeah, it was a narrative, but
I hope that was true. I don't know who all knows it was true because Roger Ver, you're right. He brought a lot of people into the space, so nothing negative like that. But I mean, he was involved in that whole, like you said, the fork, the Segway 2X fiasco.
Yep,
that was an ugly time. The New York agreement in the hotel. Like, what's going on here?
Yep. Yeah, but so the way I look at it, like I said, I actually met him once in St. Kitts at a conference. I think he's a very genuine person. Like I said, he may have made mistakes, but I think he's just focused on this mission of money you can't censor, no government. He's a hardcore libertarian. We actually got into a big debate about some libertarian arguments.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. No, but my point is he's just like hardcore like that. So you can't, just because you disagree with him, I don't think it's a reason to paint him as somebody nefarious or his intent is he has malintent. I don't think that's the case at all, actually.
That's good hearing it coming from you then, for sure. Yeah, that you met him.
Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about him, honestly.
Shout out to Bitcoin, the ex-Bitcoin Jesus still, but shout out to ex-Bitcoin Jesus.
He'll whoop your ass too. I hear he's good with the arts.
Oh, you said, what did you say? I didn't catch that all the way. Now I just process it.
Yeah, big Roger Ver is good with those hands, man.
That's what's up, man. I didn't go to UFC. I went to the military.
We got Trekk with 2 Ks in the house now.
All right.
What's up,
Trekk?
Had some technical difficulties.
What up?
You all right there, big fella? I guess not.
Yo, bro, you got COVID right now, man? Like,
he does have COVID. What
the hell?
Oh, shit, man.
This is like a hidden camera situation right now. We're just watching him in his studio.
Man, you might want to hide him then.
Don't do that. Don't do nothing crazy there, big fella.
Yo, bro, you got COVID right now, man?
Yo, the echo. Yo, the playback.
Hold on. Yo, like, This is like a hidden camera situation right now.
Look at Trekk. Trekk looks like a black Unabomber right now.
Hey, but he about to get us put on the
y'all
list.
suck right now. Y'all suck right now, but
Damn,
the epic throwback.
He's like 2 minutes back in time, man. What's going
bro,
on?
Shane, like I went up to work upstairs and now I'm bringing myself back downstairs and something happened. So, cut me off for a second so I can figure out what's going on with my setup right now. Because I had to redo
Oh
stuff.
my
now.
God, bro. This guy's echo was like a light year behind.
Right.
Man. So before we get off the subject of Doge, I want to talk about Mark Cuban. Now, all of you probably know him. This guy has been bashing Bitcoin for ages. You know that, King Bless.
I'm glad you brought it. See, people are forgetting the narratives. There we go.
Yeah, he's been bashing them for years, and now all of a sudden he's got the unmitigated gall to say that Dogecoin is not a bad look for investors. What do you guys think about that? That is, to me, very irresponsible.
Hold on, wait a minute though. Why are you saying that?
Because Dogecoin is a meme coin, right? It's a pump and dump. It's a pump and dump, and it will be dumped.
Let me ask you something. Do you agree that all cryptocurrencies are basically some function of a network effect in communities?
Yes.
Okay. So any coin could have enough of a network effect in the community behind it, right? So you can't just say because people say it's a meme coin. Really, fundamentally, what does it do besides the inflation versus deflation debate? What does it do that Bitcoin doesn't? What does Bitcoin do that it does? I mean, the only difference is liquidity.
What do you guys think about that?
He's right though. The only difference is liquidity, and the fact that the supply cap as well. Like that's about it. Only two fundamental principles. I mean, that's
so
man.
are you then saying, Alan and 10 Pound, that Bitcoin and Doge have the same risk?
Yes, in certain regards.
Okay.
In certain regards.
I didn't put you in playing 4D chess on you now, Alan.
No, but let me finish. But what I'm saying is you can't, they don't have the same risk. Once again, that's really tied to liquidity. Okay. At the same time, you can't, just because basically what you're saying is because something is riskier than Bitcoin, then it shouldn't be bought. Because would you say that some say Ethereum is riskier than Bitcoin? Should nobody recommend you buy Ethereum or EOS?
Trekk, you back in fourth dimension or third or oh no,
can't hear
this guy, man. Can't hear you, bro.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Trekk. I've had like the most ultimate just being slow today when it comes to technology. Thank y'all for dealing with my BS right now. And I want to say thank you to Ken Bosak because you dealt with me this morning, bro. I was frustrating the hell out of him. But I'll tell y'all about that later.
You were on his stream earlier?
No, we were doing a one-on-one about some stuff. Okay. So
shout out to Ken Bosak. I'll be on his channel tomorrow. Check that out. Yeah.
All right. Now, let's get back to these shots. I'm hearing a lot of folks. I'm hearing laughing. I'm seeing people joke. I'm hearing shots being taken to different coins. You know, I'm not a price person, but I will jump in on some taking shots.
We talking about Doge right now, brother. What are your thoughts? Now we got Mark Cuban. He's saying that this is not a bad look as far as an investment. This is coming from Mark Cuban. So, people are going to listen to him. The investment class are going to listen to him and go into this Dogecoin when we all know we've been in this space. You got 10 Pound and Allen saying that there's really no difference between Bitcoin and Dogecoin other than liquidity. What's your thought? I get where they're coming from, but it is what it is. Dogecoin doesn't have as big of a market as Bitcoin does. So there inherently is more risk holding Dogecoin, and telling people to go out here and buy Dogecoin as a person like Mark Cuban, I think is irresponsible. What's your thought?
But that's not the way you presented it, though. You presented it as inherently like a bad move to the equivalent of him recommending some coin that's got 100,000, market cap or something like that, right? There's a difference there. The coin hasn't been in the top 20 for a while. It's been around for almost longer than all the coins.
It's the third. It's the not the third oldest coin, but yeah, it's been. It's the second. It's the second script coin aside from Litecoin.
You presented like he was doing something like
bad. I think it to me it shows that that's the top and possibly top in Doge markets. To me, when you have people like Mark Cuban, you got Snoop Dogg, you got. I mean, this guy Elon Musk is just. I don't know how he doesn't go to jail. But the way he shills stuff on Twitter.
Mark Cuban is trying to troll like Elon is. Bottom line. That's how I look at it. Elon is just really good at doing it because he's seen as like the outskirts or like the unpopular. Not he's popular, yes, but he's seen as the personality who doesn't necessarily follow all the rules. He does his own things. So he can get away with saying and doing certain things in his traditional VC world space, the tech space, the space economy thing. He can mess around over here in this crypto thing. Here comes Mark Cuban, the guy who is known as the VC person, and he's connected to the sports stuff. And he's just jumping in trying to run on Elon's coattails in my little 2 cents. Why? Because they see the reaction Elon is getting. Mark's put out a poll the other day. I think it was like a week or 2 weeks ago. And I took it as you're trying to figure out how to understand how this new retail level mentality is running, because it's not meeting any of the traditional metrics of how you measure, like, well, where are people putting their attention or their money in? And I think that's what he's trying to figure out. But whoever he's talking to, he don't got the same people as Elon, or like he just not an Elon. Like, and I'm not saying that makes him better because I'm not really a fan of what Elon is doing either. But that's how I look at that situation. He's trying to get on that wave that Elon's riding.
What are your thoughts about well, before we jump onto Elon, because that's a whole nother subject, I just want to highlight this quote from Mr. Cuban. He says, Doge gives you a better chance of winning than a lottery ticket, all while teaching the economics of supply and demand and introducing people to crypto assets. What are your thoughts?
I mean,
I agree with him wholeheartedly.
It's a valid comment.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a valid comment?
It is.
Okay. It's a valid comment, but you're having this come from someone who is in traditional finance. We could talk all we want about like what charts and stuff look like, but at the end of the day, like, we've been around long enough to know the community and how they move doesn't follow traditional metrics and finance and stuff. So like, to be like, I'm not saying no, you won't learn some lessons about how economics and supply work, but this isn't that traditional stuff. It's like you trying to tell somebody how to build a house, but you telling them like, hey, you can learn how to do it by like looking at how to put a bike together. Like, you learn how to build something, but it's not the same equivalent stuff. Just because of how this community is, like, and Dogecoin in particular. Like, I was in a LinkedIn thread, and somebody was talking about how they were trying to do an atomic swap with Doge, and they had their people go in, their devs go in and look at the code, and they was like, "Yo, this is just bananas. We can't do nothing with this."
Okay, so what?
And
so what? I'm just saying, look. We already said, at least me and 10 Pound agreed, that there's really fun. Like, you can't do anything with Bitcoin that you can't do with Doge. They're peer-to-peer cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin has much larger market cap, right? But you're ignoring network effects. You're ignoring communities and saying like, oh, like Doge is dumb. So if Doge is dumb,
no. I'm not saying Doge is dumb. I'm not saying Doge is dumb. What
I am.
The people who are commenting on this don't know about it, and they aren't acknowledging how the community works to affect the price stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Now, that's a good point.
I think they're very well aware. I think Elon Musk, Mark Cuban, I think all these guys, they're not dumb. They know what they're doing. Okay. At the same time, you can't also pretend that communities and the way we socialize and interact is the same as it was 5-10 years ago. It's different.
I don't know.
So we could be in the middle of something. This could be part of transition. I'm not saying Doge is now about to go to number one, but we got to get out of this habit of just striking down something because it doesn't fit the narrative that we necessarily bought into initially. Until someone shows me what's so bad about Doge, I'm not going to say it's a bad project or a bad coin. If a lot of people like it, so what?
It's not so much what's bad with Doge, it's what's good with it. What's so good about Doge, in my opinion, is how I'm looking at it. Like, I don't see there's no marginal benefit, there's no competitive advantage for Doge to be where it is, other than celebrities pumping it. Like, if Wall Street Bets never pumped Doge, if Elon Musk over the last 3-4 years never pumped Doge will be where it was at a sub 20 ranking on the coin market. I'm sorry. So that is literally all the value.
You don't think TikTok is part of that?
Hell yeah. Entertainment value. It's the entertainment value ultimately. Like,
yep. Yeah. But that always has value. People
but that never but those types of things, fellas, in my opinion, never stick. So if the value of a coin is solely from entertainment and celebrities pumping it, those cycles are short-lived, and there's no fundamental underpinning to have that coin be at top 10 in the coin market rating. I'm sorry, you're going to have other coins that's going to eclipse that with actual utility and value. And to me, I just think it's irresponsible for a Mark Cuban to do something like that.
CB, can I jump in real quick? So in regards to answering this specific question about Mark Cuban saying what he said, if you can bring that quote up just so I can kind of remember it. Let's see, what is it at? Up a little bit more, I believe you had it.
Oh, you're saying this actual
right
part?
So, yeah, it gives you a better chance to win a lottery ticket, all while teaching economics and supply and demand, introducing people to crypto assets. All right, I'm with Alan as far as like the statement in and of itself, or I think 10%, the statement in of itself, there's nothing wrong with that statement. But the problem of it is a few things. First of all, the timing of it. You, like CNBC, are giving this great news about Dogecoin at $3.30
when it's run 700% in a month.
Right.
Come on, man.
Like, from that point of view, especially being a celebrity,
I've been in crypto too. These people are going to get slaughtered. Whether it's a doubling from here, then down, because if they bought today, they're not going to sell when it doubles. They're going to hold thinking it's going to go to $1. So they're going to lose all.
You could say that for anything. You could say that for any coin. What you could say that for Litecoin. You could say that for Ethereum. You could say that for Bitcoin.
Not as much. You can, but not as much, Alan, in my opinion, because there are fundamental underpinnings with a Litecoin. You know, they're doing the Mimblewimble. They're doing other things other than just being Litecoin.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so the other thing with Doge is that, I mean, Doge is truly, the statement in the crypto market, you make 80% of your money 20% of the time. So that's the other thing. He's saying that, hey, you have a better chance of doing well with Doge than winning a lottery ticket.
This is true.
That's not.
You don't think that's true?
I don't think it's true. I think I just think that was a irresponsible statement in general, because for one, this is only the second, I would say third time, and two have happened really in the last 12 months where Doge has aggressively pumped. All right. I mean, if you go back and look at the charts, there is nonstop pump and dumps throughout this timeline, but for the most part, it's just dead, pump and dump, dead, pump and dump, dead. Now, the social network and the networking effect is what's increasing the price for sure. And this is what I think Crypto Blood's saying. He's like, but they're not actually, what are they working on? Who are they partnering with? Where are these projects? Whereas you do have a Litecoin or a Bitcoin or Ethereum actually digging in and working with partners. I see Doge only going up in price as long as this network effect continues. Now, that may be enough, to be fair, because no one asked for it to be put on Call of Duty, but Call of Duty put it on there, right? No one's asking for Doge to be on these things, but the network effect is taking care of that. So if the network effect continues the way it is, then yeah, maybe it won't matter. It's just like trading marbles. If you take my marbles, they're worth something. It won't matter.
But if that, I have to say, man, they partnered up with Pornhub.
That is Not necessarily partner, but you're right. Pornhub officially accepted Doge first, but now they're accepting all cryptos too. So again, it gets back in that breadbasket of cryptocurrencies. But again, I've always been a Doge fan because I'm like, hey, if one of the persons uses it, it does work. The network works. Again, I just think the irresponsible part is the timing of it. And then also, once you look at the charts, other than the network effect, I don't think there's much going for it. But that might be enough. That might be all you need, right?
So you can use Doge to watch porn doggy style.
Exactly.
Dog.
There you go.
Okay.
So let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. I'm on bitinfocharts.com. Doge, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at unique addresses, they're all pretty close to each other.
Okay.
They're all pretty close to each other. So this is the kind of stuff I look at.
Sure.
I'm looking at unique addresses, and I'm seeing that it looks like actually Doge has more addresses than what's orange on here. Orange must be Bitcoin Cash. I'm just saying, like, and you were just on here pumping Bitcoin Cash, CB. So
I'm pumping. Listen, I'm pumping Bitcoin Cash because it's not up 700% in a month.
Okay,
I'm a trader. I'm not going to buy the top.
Why is that not irresponsible?
Because there's more room for it to go up. For you to go out there and say Bitcoin, go buy Doge when it's up 700, 800% in 1 month. Yeah, like I said, it could go up it could double from here. But your risk to reward is out of whack, bro.
How high did XRP get in the last bull market?
Like $3.45
from less than a penny. I will give him that.
I'm just saying, man. Come on, stop putting limits on stuff.
I remember it was 0.008 cent at one point. I think at the end of 2016, we had to pull up the chart. I think Ripple was like 0.008.
25 or something. I know because I sold some of that top.
But Ripple,
Coinbase, it was only
as much as I don't like Ripple, Ripple actually has infrastructure. They were trying to do this and that. They were acquiring businesses. They were the value of XRP.
You were talking about the price though. You said how much can it go, and I'm saying if XRP could go to 320, whatever that it was at the all-time high, and why can't Doge go to 3 something? Why can't it go to $1?
Because then the market cap be bigger than Bitcoin.
But XRP got to number 2 at one point. It was actually ahead of Ethereum at one point.
It did for a quick minute.
Fair with Ripple, like CB did say, I had to piggyback on that. Is important. I mean, they literally had banks buying in at the time. They had institutions buying in. They had a lot of buying on it. Whereas right now, it could be possible, but we're hoping Doge does whatever it does based off a network effect, more or less. Whereas like this wasn't a network effect. This was Ripple, like, yo, bank of whatever. I need you to put this money into our project, and they were actually doing it for whatever reason. I still don't know.
Listen, I've never even owned Doge, and I have no plans to own Doge. So I don't want anybody thinking like I'm trying to put my back. I've never bought a Doge. Okay, I'm not having. Okay.
All right, let's talk about Elon Musk.
February 10th, 2017. Ripple is 0.006 cent. I mean, I will give them that.
I tell folks all the time, like, you can make money in it, but like it's one of those you gotta be paying attention.
Oh, you know where I stand. Unless you're a full-time trader, that is Doge. All this stuff is dangerous unless you're trading.
It's dangerous. It is dangerous. And like I said, for celebrities to be out there, it's kind of letting me know possible top. That's all I'm saying. Maybe, and what a top means is another doubling from here. It's possible. That's crypto. We're in crypto. But let's talk about Elon Musk now, guys. He is Tesla. This is big news to me. This is really big news. Tesla is investing or has invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Who wants to go at this one? What does this mean? Is this a watershed moment? You know, Tesla is up there with Apple as far as one of those iconic brands for the world, for America. What are your thoughts? Who wants to go at that?
I'll take a swing at it with Bitcoin Zay was back on Fox News today again, second time. Right. Like a week or so ago, he was debating Gerber Kawasaki about Tesla versus Bitcoin. And then literally some of the things he said during the debate, it seems as though Elon Musk may have alluded to, which is pretty funny. But regardless, of course, we really thought Tesla, not just Tesla, but every major company will be going toward Bitcoin because it just makes more sense for them to keep their money, not the money if they money they want to actually spend on investments, but at least the money they make to keep it in Bitcoin reserves just makes sense, especially when you're a tech company, especially when Elon Musk has been saying things like, hey, the possibility of mining Bitcoin through a Tesla might be possible one day as well. So it's just one of those things where it made sense to me. And it's, hey, he finally put his money where his mouth is. I want to say that for one. And then for two, was the Doge pump a pump fake for him in Bitcoin? That's the other thing. Who knows, right? Shout out to Antonio from the UK. He actually said that on our show today.
So I think it's great that they got some crypto on the books. The way I look at it is just like, I went and looked at what they said, and I think they're going to hold more. They said digital assets.
Yes, so yes, they did.
I think the idea that these companies are only going to grab Bitcoin and stop there, I think is ludicrous if you actually believe any of that. I think they're going to diversify. So think about it. In crypto, they tell you to diversify unless you're like a maximalist, then you only get like one coin. But the whole point is, they start here. Everybody's going on the same journey. It's just a different sort of timing, right? So I think Tesla, and when I say Tesla, I mean Tesla, the company, not Elon Musk, because those are two separate entities, even though he is the head of it. But I think Tesla is going to start with Bitcoin and go into others, just if anything, as a diversification play to crypto, right? And then the difference is a company like Tesla, which is actually kind of like a tech company in some respects. You think about how they can integrate, you know, there's far more you can do when you integrate with an Ethereum, with a Cardano, with a Polkadot, right? Because those networks actually enable you to compose and build different things. So thinking big picture, I can see, you know, even though I'm not saying it now, but that's, you know, everybody before was like, we just want companies, big companies to buy Bitcoin. But now it's kind of like, well, these companies could integrate these other networks which you can actually do stuff with into their network, whether they're buying stuff or just a lot of different aspects. So that's how I'm looking at it. Because they said, I read the report, it said digital assets. So they're not going to stop it at Bitcoin.
Trekk.
So I ain't reading none of the articles. I did catch something.
How irresponsible of you.
So when I looked out, I've been trying to get a handle on this Clubhouse thing, so that's been taking up X amount of time.
Oh no, not the degenerate Apple app.
Oh, come on, bro. It's more than degens, man. You got a ton.
That's a whole nother day we can jump in.
That's a whole nother, yeah, let's just focus now.
Bruh, dude, I've been, man, you guys crazy, man. I've been having heart-to-heart moments with like angel investors and like, dude, yeah, and y'all talking about us for degenerates, man. Oh, y'all doing my app dirty.
I ain't say that. But as far as this Elon thing with the whole Tesla, like, if we look at it from a standpoint of, are we seeing adoption based on big name personalities and big name companies doing things? Yes, that's all great and gravy. But then you get into the whole thing about the devil's in the details. And from what I understand, like the way that they worded it out, it's like, yeah, it's a digital asset thing that we're looking at it in that framework. And then also for the purchasing part, they leave the room open to be like, we're just gonna cash out on the back end. We'll take your crypto and then we're just gonna cash out on the back end. So to me, it's one of those like, all right, let's wait and see how this play out. Now, if you talk about like, oh, well, from a technology end, is the car going to be, or the vehicle going to eventually be able to mine crypto? You have people who was already doing that for like 2 years now, like mining Bitcoin and whatever other thing in their Teslas already. So like that's not a new thing. That's just, all right, now we're going to bring it in-house and figure out how to do it this way. And I would argue they're probably going to figure out to bring it in, but then take a cut of what you're doing, because now it's going to be officially sanctioned in their devices. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean,
I think
go ahead, Alan.
No, I'm just saying, like, the problem with just the Bitcoin aspect of this is that you can't really do anything. I see people I don't personally count adoption when it's just holding it, not with cryptocurrency specifically. right? To me, you gotta like use it within the network for something, right? To exchange the value for some other sort of capability or purpose. So until they start saying, hey, we're going to use Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency within their ecosystem somehow, yeah, they put it on the books, and some people, that's enough for them. But I look at use. How are they going to use any of the cryptocurrencies within whatever they're building?
But the trend here, Alan, is not using Bitcoin. As we see, these companies are literally hoarding Bitcoin as a hedge against the dollar dying.
Right.
So I don't think that narrative. I don't think that narrative of utilizing Bitcoin for anything is even a valid one at this point. We see what's going on. MicroStrategies, they're not using Bitcoin, they're just hodling Bitcoin.
I mean, that's fine. I just don't think that's the long-term arc that's going to play out this way. I think if we just everyone just held their dollars and didn't ever use them. That's not really economic activities. In fact, when people don't spend their money, when people don't, what do they cry about? Oh, the GDP, there's no,
money
dollar
velocity
circulation is down.
Money
the
velocity,
money velocity is down. All this stuff.
But again, you're conflating Bitcoin as cash or as a currency, and it's not a currency.
But it is a cryptocurrency.
It's not a currency.
Well, hold on. Let me just say
currency.
Yes, bro.
Let me just say this one thing. Crypto is money and currency together. We don't need to separate them anymore, right? That's what the technology enables, is that your money and your currency are now bound together.
I agree. But which one is you? If you had a scale, right, Alan? How percentage wise, how much of the market is actually using Bitcoin as a commodity and using Bitcoin as a currency? 80-20, 80% using it as a commodity, 20%.
I'd say 90%.
90%
as a commodity.
As a commodity.
Like what though? Yeah. What kind of commodity? Describe
as
it.
As a gold, as like a gold, as a precious metal, as a digital precious metal.
Yeah, but an asset to be held on the balance sheets.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Trekk, chime in.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Bro, this has always been my issue with you for like how long, bro? Because you always marginalize the people who are spending it as a currency and say, well, no, this is what the X amount of the people who have access, who have it, are doing. So we got to say it's this thing. I'm always at a loss on that argument because it's like, wait a minute, what happened to the technology that allows you to use it in various ways? Now, because the rich people are over here using it in a particular way. And what I don't like about what Mark Saylor, Elon, and all the rest of the big name folks is doing is the way that they're moving. And then if you listen to how they talk, no one's talking about like, and I get it, like this new wave coming in don't care about privacy. They don't care about the OG principle stuff. But there's an expansion and a changing of the narrative of what I'm gonna just keep it on Bitcoin, of what Bitcoin was ideally supposed to work as. And it's crazy to watch this in real time. And then I'm sitting in these different rooms and I'm talking with folks like y'all. And Alan, you know what I'm talking about on Clubhouse. And it's just like, yo, like, hey, bro. The last time I heard somebody talk about the white paper is crazy. And if you like listen to even how the mainstream is doing it right now, where when they talk about Bitcoin, it's whole Bitcoin. It's never incremental, fractional Bitcoin. This is what annoys me about when people go with, hey, people are using it as a hedge against the dollar. They're using it as this store of value because it minimalizes and then just totally sideswipes the other ways that you can use it. Just because these rich people up here who are in a whole different operation,
exactly,
from an everyday person like me, don't mean we supposed to be using it the same way. And it frustrates the hell out of me that everyone wants to make these comparisons.
King, what's your thoughts on that?
Yo,
is Bitcoin well, we know it can be used for both. We all know that. common sense. But what is it being used as right now by the majority of the people?
Yeah, right now the majority is definitely just holding on to it. But I think we'll continue to see that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that in the short term. We're getting confused. We're getting our years confused. You got to remember, this is price discovery of what could possibly be a global, whether it's a global currency or a global store of value or both. It's a global thing. So while price discovery, this is why it's so volatile. It's not like I don't think we're going to solve this. We're going to answer this in the short term. And it may be different to each person. Like I said, some billionaires might just want to store value. Some people might want to use it. But regardless, I think we'll continue on this volatility until maybe another 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? Until other countries and everybody really accepts it and cements it into a global currency or a global store of value, whatever it decides to be. I think we're still discovering that. I mean, it's people today who still don't know what Bitcoin is. So we can't even call it anything.
A lot of people.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I'm a contrarian, all right? I think it's a reserve currency for an asset class, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's literally like being utilized against all these different other assets. And yeah, that's exactly that. Like people are trading against the Satoshi. I trade against the Satoshi. I don't trade against the dollar. So yeah, it's the way it is.
So everybody say don't spend it now. So when do you spend it? So this is my thing. You know, King Bless just said it. It's price discovery. We gotta wait. All this feeds into the same narrative that Trekk is talking about. Don't use it.
I never said use it. I said some people use it, some people aren't. I'm not saying that, but I am saying as far as what it is, like the price itself. Because look, if it's worth $1 million, then it's an investment, no matter how you look at it. But if it's not worth $1 million, then hey, you can spend it for some people.
Right, but the point I'm making is that everyone is just like, when you talk about why don't you use it, why don't you spend it for whatever it is within the Bitcoin network, why don't you do that? Not now. So then my follow-up is, well, if not now, when? And I never get a real answer to that. So the way I look at crypto is that you gotta have not everybody got to spend it, right? Because not everybody spends their money with dollars, right? But a culture, a community culture of spending and utilizing a coin, right? For instance, with Ethereum, EOS, you got to have EOS, Ethereum, Cardano, whatever, as they build out, you got to have that coin to do things within that network. And that network is going to continue to deliver economic activity, economic products, capabilities, services. And the culture of spending within that is going to be very massive to build out a continued network effect and community growth. So that sort of feeds upon itself. Just holding only is going to get you so far. So I just don't know how people get away with that. And, you know, like Trekk said, Mark Cuban and Elon Musk and Saylor and all these guys, they don't have the same problems or considerations that the 98%, 99% of people have, right? Their problem is the devaluing dollar and a complete, like, your wages are being stolen with your time. And I know that affects those guys at the top, but not in the same way. So I don't think that when you sit on like these Clubhouse forums and you got people talking about, oh, just hodl and just hold Bitcoin and just wait. Dog, like that's not how it's gonna play. I can't see it. So I just not.
This is where I agree and disagree with you. So I speak on me personally. Like I've lived off of Bitcoin for years now. You know, myself and my business partner, we've been living off Bitcoin, so we do spend it. However, on Will 45, he made a great point. Why would you spend it when fiat is being printed like crazy? That's the thing where people are using it as a hedge of the inflation and as a store of value. And that's why it's important. I mentioned price discovery, because right now, if you are spending Bitcoin when the majority of the world doesn't know about it, and it's supposed to be either a global currency or a global store of value, regardless of how you look at it, it will go up in price because of scarcity. So that just is what it is. As long as people believe in it, it has its own Bitcoin network effect, the Bitcoin, whatever that. So if that's the case, then if it's going to go up in value, for me personally, I have spent it. I do spend it, but we used to give it away every day free on our show. We used to give it away. But it's like right now, as this is happening, it's just not in a rush to do it, especially as they continue. Like right now, they're talking about giving what Biden said, you might give every family with a kid under $3,600 and everybody else $3,000 with kids over the age of 6. Like, I am not going to spend it right now because, to me, it's just plain and blue. It will go up in value.
But what did you say? You said you spend it, and you like. I'm not saying spend all of it. All I'm saying is use it like anything else. You said you've been running your business for years, but you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm talking about.
But I disagree with it too. But see, we did it because we're in like. So put it like this: if I had other means of income that were more than that, I would never spend it. I won't say never. I will wait because right now, again, I knew 3 or 4 years ago spending in Bitcoin when I needed to keep the lights on was a bad move, but I still had to do it. Doesn't mean I wanted to, but I knew it was a bad move because I'm like 3 years ago, less people knew about it. So it's only eventual that the price discovery will continue to have. That's why I just keep mentioning price discovery. So I get what you're saying. Like in terms of dollars, for me, it's like, yeah, I spend some of my dollars. I save some of my dollars for a rainy day. I invest some of my dollars, right? I put them to work. So I get what you're saying with Bitcoin, but my thing is that since it's just so early in price discovery and so many people still don't know about it, I think you're putting yourself at a big risk from an economist point of view because you'll be losing money that you could essentially have had if you start spending it early. But I do agree with you. It's like if everyone's in their right mind, like, well, we never will spend it. I mean, how does that work for the gold or silver market, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Fast Nickel makes a good point here. He says, hodl if you, I hodl, but if you hodl any coin, you must have an in-game plan of when to spend it. Yep. And that's right, man. I mean, he's hit it right on the head. I mean, that's with any asset, though. That's with gold. That's with silver. You have an in-game of scaling out of that position at some point. Maybe not all of it, but some of it.
The money isn't. You're right. The money isn't real until you spend it, blood.
It's not realized. It's not. It's not real until you realize it. For sure.
And I think if you just force people to just accept this HODL narrative, the more and more that Bitcoin's network effect grows, you actually potentially lose some people because they're like, "Oh, I held it when I should have sold it," because they get upset, or everyone says instead of saying, "Hey, listen, you guys are traders, right? When you get into a good position, you let it run, and if you say you double your money, you might take out your entry, right, and move it into another asset, right? Let's just say you had, 50,000 and it ran up to 150, right? You might take out your 50 to get your the amount you enter with, and take that 50 and buy another asset, right? But they'll tell you just hold it forever. Like that's just, to me, that's just disingenuous. Right, especially when all you can really do on Bitcoin is just hold. That's my other problem. There's really nothing tied to the Bitcoin network directly that you can just park that money into. Whereas with other networks, you can potentially do that.
That is where stable coins are coming in at. But one thing I will agree with you on, essentially, is that you're right. If I would say people don't spend Bitcoin, then the network effect, we might see that decrease in things. And that's the whole crazy with that fake crypto commercial that they had Elon Musk talking about. He said, wouldn't it be ironic if Doge became the future of crypto? That is how something crazy like that, I think, could happen. Even when technically and fundamentally it makes no sense when you're talking about 10-year-olds or people every day. I mean, see, all you on this panel know people ask you about cryptocurrency in regards to price before they ask you about the project. More like 9 times.
For sure.
So
absolutely.
When it's things like that, I am with them. Is like if you aren't spending Bitcoin using it, and it is just old man's gold asset, that might be a scary thing we could see. Whereas the opposite, where it's like, fine, no one talks about it, no one spends it. What about the new thing that everybody has at every point of sale device or every store?
I'm not saying that a big Dogecoin is going to zero. Not at all. I just think you're having yet another pump and dump cycle. We've seen so many in the past. Like that. I mean, it is what it is. We've seen it go up, spike up, and then go right back, reverse to the mean. And that mean will get gradually higher over time, I think. But just be careful is what I'm saying. Let's get back to the Tesla thing, though. One thing I want to highlight in this article is about their positioning on why they're doing this. They said that we're investing an aggregate of 1.5 billion into Bitcoin under this policy and may acquire and hold digital assets from time to time or long term. Moreover, we expect to begin accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment for our products in the near future, subject to applicable laws and initially on a limited basis, which we may or may not liquidate upon receipt. So yeah, this is the new wave. I mean, it fits right in with the Tesla culture, right? Like cryptos, Tesla, Apple, that whole culture I mean, I think this is really going to catapult Bitcoin over 100,000. This right here, Tesla by itself will do that.
Hey,
in my
Blood,
opinion.
I agree with you there. I was talking with this gentleman who is an investor. He really cool guy. He was talking to me about how he is in direct communication with Tim Cook, and Tim Cook wants to implement blockchain services with Apple Health, and he was literally seeking his advice on how we should move in the space and whatnot. So like Apple is eyeing this asset class, and they want to implement like services on top of like these networks. So
I just want to make one last point about Bitcoin and it being money or being currency or it being an asset. The reason why I would say it's more so an asset is because it is deflationary, right? So usually currencies are inflationary and it's supposed to be used as a means of exchange. You don't want to have a situation where a currency is a deflationary currency. That's why I always kind of cringe when I hear the gold people say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna back the dollar by gold one day, 1-to-1." No, that's insane to do, because now you're slowing down the money supply, the flow of that money. You want people to spend money, not hoard it, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah.
So the whole asset money thing, I've been saying for at least a year, I think Bitcoin is going to end up essentially functioning like an NFT, like a fungible NFT, as crazy as that sounds, in that because it won't be used as money, it'll just be something that you hold and be like, look at this Bitcoin that I got or something like that. Between now and the rest of our lives and between now and the rest of anybody who got kids' lives, Bitcoin is going to continue to inflate. Right? There's nothing. The people who will validate the 21 million Bitcoin meme, as I refer to it as, they're not even alive yet. Their parents aren't even alive yet. And we don't know what the social consensus is going to be at that time. So this fixation on deflationary and this promise, which we will never validate, will be fulfilled. The way I look at it is anything that inflates now that you're comparing to Bitcoin is going to continue to inflate with Bitcoin unless you have a fixed token supply, which literally, per the protocol rules, is already issued and out there, and there's not going to be any more.
Wow.
Right?
What do you think about this statement here, fellas? The bond market needed a scapegoat. Bond market was a 40-year Ponzi scheme by the Fed. They need to have a place to unwind their positions without the public noticing. Crypto was an excuse for the bond market to go and die. Wow. That's pretty deep.
Yeah, he's right, because the yield is zero. There's no yield on bonds.
Near zero. It's near lower bound for sure.
I think for the most part, society as a whole is starting to wake up to these new yield curves and these new oracle systems that are operating on top of these networks, and literally, like they've got to make their moves now. Otherwise, they're not going to be sitting pretty by the turn of the next century.
Yep.
One other sleeper. I'm gonna do a little shill real quick. Shout out to all my YouTube members who caught that interview with Douglas Horn from Telos Tuesday. That coin was at 4 cents. It is now at 13 cents. And
there you go.
I mean,
fundamentally, I don't know anything about.
Okay, so Telos is another EOS.io blockchain, but they're doing their gut. Look at this guy. Look at this. Hey.
So now the Larimer left. They all
no. Telos been around. Telos has been around, bro. It's just doing this governance at the chain level. Listen, you got to go check it out. I'm gonna send you the link to check out the interview, Alan. You're gonna learn a lot from what Telos is doing.
Hey, listen,
bro.
I look at everything, man.
I know. That's what I'm gonna send it to you.
I actually go and touch and use and try to do different stuff, man. Because
Telos is better than EOS, to be honest with you, because of the way you can onboard. It's almost like Wax, where you don't have that barrier of entry like you do with EOS. You gotta, with EOS, people like I gotta buy tokens to buy and create an account. So they eliminated that part. It's a lot of good things, but shout out to all those who did get up on that Telos. It is got a low market cap. See, that's what I'm saying. When you're looking at tokens, look at the ones that have low market caps and a lot of traction as far as activity on the blockchain. That's what I look at as far as my recipe for success.
So, I got nothing, bro. I got
nothing. I got nothing on Celebs, man. I don't know anything about it to be critical about any of that. So
yeah, all good. All good, all good. So let's talk about where do you guys want to go here? You want to talk about
cryptocurrency exchange? Yeah, let's do the NFT
Actually,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I got a topic after that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about this NFT world. That you're real excited about the NFT world now, Alan.
Now I've been excited. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Hold up. I've been excited about NFTs. I just wasn't excited about wax. That's the difference. Okay.
You still don't like wax?
I haven't used it yet, so I have no opinion. But it's tied to EOS and all that, so I haven't gotten into it yet. Okay.
Yo,
but
Trekk, chime in on this one, man.
Like I said earlier today, bro, Ken was helping me out with the wax situation because of what I'm doing with the ebook, and it's a little bit of a process. And I haven't so I've gotten, let's say, past my first part as far as being able to mint, and now I understand how to do the drops.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not fully in yet, but I'm getting there. It's a process, but what always scared, well, not always, but with the price of Ethereum doing what it's doing right now, like the gas fees is just skyrocketing.
Control, bro.
It's a problem. So look,
that deterred me. Like honestly,
this is what's going to happen with all the NFT stuff. All this stuff is essentially going to move to L2s and sidechains. So when I say L2s, I mean like Loopring or ZK Sync, Optimism, and sidechains. I mean like Matic and XDAI. It's already happening.
Matic is dope. Matic is real dope.
OpenSea is actually opening. They have a Matic version now. So I don't know if you know that. Yeah. NFTs are about to be, I mean, they're already kicking off with a bang this year, but they are going to be the big narrative of 2021. I'm telling you right now, they're going to be massive. There are a lot of projects that are coming. It's a completely different mechanism as far as like how you speculate on it. It's not like regular coins, which is why you don't have a lot of like your traditional shillers, because it's not as
you can only shill one token. It's unique.
You more so.
I mean, you can shill the artist. Yeah.
Look at Axie Infinity, right? Something like that.
Yeah, bro. So for how I'm looking at it, and I gotta say, jumping in on one of the, I don't remember which one of the rooms it was, but like they was going on for like 3 hours on NFT stuff, and it was a couple of things that I was not aware of, and I'm talking about Clubhouse if you ain't know. But even before that, just in watching some of the other things, some people was talking about like crypto finally, like Ken, some of the things that you said, also Alan, even you, 10 Pound, my dude, 3D, Douglas. I'm looking at this next, like, let's say 2.5 years. I think we're gonna see the ICO on crack, bro. It's gonna be the ICO era on crack. The next 2.5, maybe 3 years is gonna be crazy. Like it's people doing stuff, bro. Like people doing albums, they're doing like actual singles. I know one person who is a comedian who's making his one-liner jokes into NFTs.
Yeah,
just 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, a piece of land in Axie Infinity, which is a collectibles world, sold for $1.5 million. Okay, we got CryptoPunks. If you haven't heard of those are the first NFTs. Okay, those routinely sell anywhere from 50 to 100. We had one sell like last month for like 750,000. We had a hash mask, which is a new project. Which, full disclosure, I'm a moderator on that project. But
look at you being a look at you.
Hey,
look at you being a responsible.
Yeah, I'm always sensible. So look, what I'm saying is, after the everything was revealed, somebody paid 420 ETH, which was like 660,000 for one of the rarest hash masks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, this NFT space is going to blow up. It already has, but this is like nothing, because the difference between like coin utility speculation and all that is that NFTs deliver the product to you immediately. So you get the experience, you get the tangibility immediately. You get emotional connection to it. So the ability to dump it is not as easy, and thus it's a more illiquid market, but at the same time, you tend to hold it longer. So I'm just telling you, like, these NFTs are going to take all shit, collectibles, art, music, video, games, all this stuff. There's going to be a lot of speculation in that space, and you better start getting aware of how to take advantage of that. Even if you want to talk about Bitcoin as an asset, a painting, a collectible, whatever. Listen, I got crypto punks. To me, that's an asset. I got some.
It's an asset. It is.
Right. I got an artist
it's a unique asset though. Yeah. But Bitcoin is a fungible asset.
Yeah, it's a fungible NFT. That's what I said. That's what it's going to end up being. Yeah.
Hey, so hear me out, right? I did an auction, and also I did a live show as a musician inside of the metaverse on Crypto Voxels to promote my auction. Yeah, man. And the person that won my auction kind of didn't want to pay the gas fees to redeem the NFT because the gas fees were so insane.
Yeah.
Bro, I put a lot of effort into that piece of work, and I was willing to ship physical product too, like posters, a mouse pad, some stickers, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, and all that, bro. Like, I was ready to go.
And you know what? It's going to be so to that point, Alan. We're a year and a half, 2 years away from Ethereum 2.0 fully.
But we don't need that. We don't need that.
Okay. So
Matic is on OpenSea is on Matic right now.
I understand that. So do you think that's going to be? You think that's going to really be able to bridge that gap until Ethereum 2.0 is fully?
For sure. I do. Because this is the problem right now that's going on. Right now, you're onboarded to Ethereum, right? So then you got to go from Ethereum to an L2 or a sidechain. Right. But eventually not even eventually, it's already starting to happen. They're just going to take you straight to Matic. They're going to take you straight to XDAI. So they're going to take the steps out of the way to abstract away having to do all that. And then
or people are just going to go straight to Wax.
Hey, they might go to Wax. You're right.
Or any other
network. Cardano. Listen, I'm not a maximalist at all. I like Cardano. I like Polkadot. I like Cosmos. I like a lot of different projects that you can build on. I'm a builder.
So does Cardano have any apps?
Not yet, but they're gonna come.
What the hell do you like Cardano?
That's what people.
Let me tell you something.
Don't short sell it. Do not.
I'm actually with you.
Bro, they got smart contracts. The playground for smart contracts.
Yes, they
already
do.
On Cardano, man.
Yes, like, Marlo.
Man,
who are you talking about? Marlo, 10 pound. Are you talking
Marlo
about
down the street?
Man, I'm talking about what they have right now with IOHK. Yeah, IOHK.
Yeah, my bad. What? Shame on y'all.
We have to remember something in this space. Somebody got to die. Everybody can't live, right? Somebody has to die.
And you think it's going to be Cardano?
I'm not saying it will be, but and just to be full disclosure, I trade Cardano. I've been in and out of Polkadot. Unicorn? What's the unicorn thing for the DeFi network? Uniswap. Yeah. All this. So I'm trading in and out of this stuff. But as far as longevity, to me, it's super speculative because are they going to beat out Ethereum in the short term? Is that what you're telling me? With all the resources that Ethereum has?
Hold on, let me ask you something. Why? And when I say you, it's not even attacked on you, King.
No, I know what you mean by it.
It's a mentality that people have. They focus on beating, right? We talking about a pie that's about to go from like this size to like massive, right? Yeah. And this whole mentality of beating zero-sum sort of outcomes is very ridiculous to me. Right? Like we got to start thinking like this pie is going to go 100x. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Ethereum's going to play its finest place. And when Cardano does something, it's going to find its niche. Polkadot, whatever. Near, I don't even have some of these coins. My whole point is this space is going to completely blow up. We need to stop worrying about this pie like somebody got to eat all of it. You just need a
my thing is, and I see what Better Days is saying. Statements like this. Shout out to Better Days. He's a subscriber of mine. ADA is the best thing in the. You can't make these types of statements. I know you're not. I know you're not, but I see people doing this with ADA all the time.
Hold on. Have you ever watched Hoskinson? Have you ever watched him talk?
I met him. I met him out when I went to the
you met him at some conference, but have you watched his videos?
I met him and watched him. Speak. Yes.
No, what I'm saying is, if you've been watching Hoskinson for the last like 9 months, he is on. He just got a regular YouTube channel. And he gets on there and he talks about what they're building, the tools, the phases, everything they are building. Now, when I say building, is they're building infrastructure, they're building tools, they have grant programs for people to come on there. They have a bridge to convert any ERC20 into a native token on their network. Smart contracts are coming. I'm not trying to shield Cardano so much.
No,
I'm just saying, like, things are happening. So don't think that people aren't going to go there and build, because it's going to be cheaper than using Ethereum. So the race is really, can Polkadot, Cosmos, Cardano, Near, these other networks get a network effect of builders to come there before Ethereum can sit there and get L2s off and lower their gas fees as people transition there. That's the real race right now.
So let me answer that. So I don't think it's a zero-sum game, to be fair. Like, I don't think it's either this wins or that loses. However, majority of the people, especially right now and 2017, the 2 times where we had the most interest into cryptocurrency, are here for money. Point blank.
Yes.
They don't care about. They do not care about the fundamentals of. I mean, this is what we do on the show. Like this is the reason why we started our show. We wanted to talk about these news articles to say that, hey, this is FUD. These are the real fundamentals. Like, you should actually read the white paper. Which, how many people right now in this space have never even read the Bitcoin white paper? It's people in your comment section, I bet, talking about Dogecoin, Cardano, and everything else that's never read the white paper. So that distinction needs to be made clear, because when you are making that distinction, you're talking about investors, which is most of these people are. They're coming in as investors.
No. Speculators, King.
Really? Yes.
Not even investors. Speculators.
So when you're coming into a market for that reason, and for that, then the things you just said, by and large, while they should matter, they matter to people like me. They don't matter to the masses, because if they matter to the masses, then Cardano would be over. They'd be killing Dogecoin right now, right? I agree with you. I get what you're saying, but that it doesn't matter. I get what you're saying, but right now, perception is king. Perception matters. And the perception is that Doge has this network effect. The perception is that Bcash is dead. The perception is that Ethereum's the #2 coin. They're going to have all these great things going. So why that may be false, and I agree, it doesn't need to be a zero-sum game where some win or some lose. When you're talking about a pot of money or people's pot of money, there sometimes isn't enough money, especially in the initial stages, I think, to go around in every direction.
But let me
that's my thought.
Let me counter that real quick. I look at things in a longer time horizon. You look at a coin like Litecoin, who has been around, has really listen. You can wimble me for the next 3 years. You're still going to be okay. My whole point is that these shifts of coins that come into like the top 20 and come out are going to continue to evolve, and they're just slower. There is no reason that Litecoin should be where it's at. It does nothing better than Bitcoin. Okay, shoot, it does nothing better than Dogecoin. Wimble isn't deployed, so why is it there, right? So the chains that are going to start taking over are going to be chains, and coins are going to be chains you can build on. That's why Ethereum is, because it was the first coin that you can build on. Binance, Chainlink, glues all that together. Cardano is there because you can build on it, and you need to build. You need that. Polkadot, same thing, right? That's why. And then the DeFi tokens. Aave is going to be in the top 10, whether people like it or not. Like, it's just going to happen. It's the best DeFi protocol. That's just what it is right now. So because people use it, all this stuff is tied to use. People don't use Litecoin. Look at crypto info or cryptofees.info or something like that. Nobody's using Litecoin. Why is it there? Who knows?
And people are using Litecoin, bro. Stop short selling. This man, Litecoin got a devout army.
I'm not short selling nothing.
Man, people love Litecoin.
But what I will say is I do agree with Alan in the sense of he is right. That is a narrative of the space where it's like, hey, somebody got to die, somebody got to live. And again, I disagree with that from an enthusiast, a person who's actually in a space who likes the technology, who likes to see what's happening. I do disagree with that. But from an investor and knowing what people are coming to the market for, I agree with it because, I mean, you got to remember, you're talking about retail investors now is where we're going toward, and we're trying to make sure retail investors are getting the market. A lot of these people, you say $50 a week, they're going to look at you like, you want me to spend $200 a month on crypto? What? I don't have that. I have kids. Like, what are you talking about? So when they're making these decisions, this is when these conversations do matter. And you do have to say, this one might die and this one has the more probability of living. Whether that's the right way of looking at it or not, it's like, hey, if a person only has X amount of dollars and they're trying to be a part of this community, how, and again, I'm with you, they don't need to invest to be a part of the community. But the way a lot of them are looking at it, they're just like, hey, I'm just trying to spend my money on something.
Right.
Me, I have to be responsible and say, I don't think this will work. These are the reasons why, or I think this can work for this amount of time. These are the reasons why.
Yeah. I think the other reason you got a lot of these communities like Cardano, especially, unit bias is a thing, right? People want to own a whole of something. So the same thing that we saw with XRP, same thing that we see with Doge. Just like, hey man, if I get like 1,000 of these Doge coins or these XRPs, if it goes to like $100, like I'm gonna be rich. So that's how they think about it. So unit bias is the thing. People don't want to own like fractions of whatever, right? And Bitcoin is like, man, I gotta get, for you just talking about what, $200 a month or something like.
But you're right, they should diversify. I'm agreeing with you. I agree with you. I already know it. I'm with you, but they don't. Yeah. They don't do it. I don't know. They don't do it.
Yeah, they don't do it. They want to own a whole of something. It's just the way. It's a psychological thing we'll never get by. I actually think Bitcoin community, or however, I feel like they quickly need to shift to like measuring in sats or something pretty soon, because I mean, imagine a $200,000 Bitcoin. Listen, I don't necessarily like it, but I can admit I think Bitcoin is going to get to 200,000 because I'm interested in what everything else is going to be when Bitcoin is 200,000. And like, that's a number. Say 200,000. Like, you need to shift to a different unit. It's going to be a problem. It's a psychological issue.
They got, years ago we talked about shifting to micro sats and nano sats. So that'll happen. That'll happen.
He's right. It needs to, sats need to happen ASAP. I mean, we have people come on the show today like
sats are too many.
Low.
Too low.
No,
that's the lowest.
Man.
That's the lowest. You want to go max. You want to go
pennies. Weren't we calling it pennies?
Mini
pennies for a minute.
The play
first off, they're called M-bits.
M-bits, yeah.
That's true. That's true. Weren't we calling it pennies for short for a moment too? We were calling it pennies.
Finnies. Finnies are for Gwei. Like that's like 100,000 Gwei, right?
Yeah, he's right. You're right, 10 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm a nerd in that regard. Like,
I was gonna agree with Alan. We have people come on today saying Bitcoin is cost too much. I can't buy Bitcoin. It's like, yeah, you still have to tell people this, that they can buy Satoshi. So I'm with them. Like that effect, that psychological effect of seeing 47,000, 1,700, 1,600 to 40 cent, 30 cent to 6 cent to 5 cent, to 3 cent. We getting this. Like that is crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's penny stocks, right? It's the same sort of play. You gotta, and I think the Bitcoin community, listen, I don't know how that works or who governs that sort of mindset around that, like who can say start using sats or not. I think if there's social consensus of a lot of Bitcoiners shifts to using sats, but it's going to be a problem. We saw it in 2017. Right, and it's going to continue to be a problem. The only difference is the institutions are buying a lot of this stuff. They don't care about sets, but your average person is going to. Nobody wants. People already hate fractions and decimals. 0.00890 whatever. Dude, that's not going to work. How much is one sat right now? Like, how much is $1 in sats? Like, what is that conversion? Does anyone know?
Well, at $1 million, Bitcoin would be $1 Satoshi.
I think $30 right now gets you like 60,000 sats or something.
You just gotta listen. I don't know how it's gotta happen. I think for the Bitcoin community, if they really want to think long
term, people don't care. These are all speculators. They listen to Elon Musk. They're listening to Snoop Dogg. They just want to buy, and they're going to buy at the top and get their nuts cashed.
I'm gonna be rich in 2 days. That's what they tell me.
Yo,
48 hours you watch.
I said this like years ago. In like 2018 or like 2017, you got, and I'm looking at the first decade. In the first decade, I summed it up to you had two types of people in this space, in the community. You had the people who lived in the space, and then you had the people who lived off the space. King, Bitcoin Zay, YouTube Blood, 10 Pound, like y'all are in the space people. I'm an in the space person. Alan is an in the space person. And then you got the folks who are looking at it going, oh, how do I get the bag? They don't care about the tech. They don't care about privacy. They don't care about the
which is 90% of them. This is 90% of them.
This new wave, it's weird, bro. Like I feel like it's a new group coming in with a different kind of mentality. And the other part that gets me is they don't want to deal with none of the risk, none of the responsibility. I be listening to people, bro, and I'm like, yo, this is like delegated responsibility. Like you don't want to do none of it. You just want to get the gimme. And it might be just me because of how long I've been in this and I'm seeing the different changes and shifts, but it's just it's frustrating to a degree, but I get it. Like this is just a part of the growing pains and what we have to go through to get it to where, as you talk about, Alan, like in this whole thing of like how are we getting it adopted, how are we getting into where it's built out more than just it's the blockchain that has a money use or a store value use. Like what other things are we doing with it and bringing it out? But like the
Blockstream killed that for Bitcoin.
Yep. Hey, shots fired.
Blockstream killed that for Bitcoin, bro. Unfortunately.
Yep.
Bro, yo, I want to jump onto a comment that Bit Native said, and it was off of the shout outs to you, bro. I didn't speak to you in a minute, but he was saying the thing about like IBM and Amazon and all of them getting in. Here's the thing that yes, that sounds good as far as like, oh, big tech companies are doing adoption, but you gotta, and you know, bro, because you a tech dude, even though the big tech companies move into space, they don't have the agility to move the same way that, like, you know, these new startups are moving, these new projects, or even on the end of on Bitcoin itself. Like, it's not a matter of like, oh, we got patents and we got garden walls going up, and you can only do something when we say so. That's what's going on with your Amazon. That's what's going on with your IBM. That's what's going on with your Microsoft and Google and the rest of them. So like, it sounds good, and it's like, oh, now the people who don't know anything techie, but they know the big Google company is a part of it now. So now the average, you know, whoever person knows, oh, this is a thing because a recognized name is in it now. It doesn't mean they're going to enjoy what the feature of the product is that they push out. And then what happened? They're going to come back to the stuff that's over here on the open source side, in my opinion.
All right. Yeah, I hear you, man. Alan, you had something you wanted to touch on as a topic. What was that?
No, we had touched on it. It was the NFTs. I just was trying to let you guys know that the NFTs are going to be like the entry point for how a lot of real world stuff. And when I say I mean real intangible things, right? So like music is intangible, art is tangible. But what I mean is that like ways of expressiveness and games and just other things that are non just like coin and utility related, this stuff is really, really about to pick up.
All right, so I agree. So how does the you know, we got cats out here watching that's kind of fairly new to the crypto scene, and now we're, you know, they're just getting their heads around Bitcoin and altcoins, and now you done brought up NFTs. What the hell? How are they supposed to benefit from this new wave? Which I agree with you, but how should people go about getting to that space? Because it's a slightly different mindset.
Right. First thing I would do is, honestly, if you've got an iPhone right now, Clubhouse is just a good place to go.
Here this guy goes.
Hold on a second, man.
It is though. It explains.
I'm answering the question. Go on Clubhouse, just listen to people, right? I tell people anything with crypto, whatever. Don't put in money first. Put in time, right? Put in time. You got time to sit around on Facebook or whatever else you do. Get on there and listen. YouTube is your friend. Search this stuff. Understand it, right? Yeah, there are shillers that are shilling like some NFTs and projects and things like that. Get on there. Go on platform. You can do a whole lot before you have to put it with your time. Before you have to put a dime into anything in crypto, NFTs, tokens, whatever. So do that. And when you go through that, that's when you'll be ready to get on platforms like OpenSea or Rarible or Super Rare or even Wax or whatever. Like, you got to put in the time. It's like like anything else, right? Just put in the time. But Clubhouse is a great source of info right now. Like, it really is.
All right, cool. So Trekk, what's your thoughts about the NFT space? Is it the next ICO boom type situation? What is it to you?
And I got a question after him about it as well when you get finished.
For sure.
It's going to go ham in the next 3 years. It's going to be 2016, 2017 all over again. And on what Alan said.
But how do you navigate this go around? Because again, NFTs are non-fungible, so each NFT is unique. It's not like I can just go blindly and just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna buy Litecoin or Dogecoin and just hodl it and then sell it to another person in a year when it's 100x."
So I'm a piggyback on what Alan said. Yeah, jump into the Clubhouse thing. If you got the phone, don't go out and buy a whole goddamn new phone. Like, don't do that. That's just in my opinion, that's stupid. In my opinion, that's stupid. There's other ways of learning about this thing. Google University is your friend. You know what I'm saying? YouTube College is free all day. Like, what gets me in regards to this thing, and I'm gonna say it, like, it's a process. And not on the end of if you're looking to create stuff. I'm just talking about understanding what are the platforms that are out there right now and who are these like official companies like Topps and like Atari and like the NBA Top Shots and like who they're connecting with. Because this is what's going on right now. I'm gonna throw this out, but I'm not telling you to go out and go do this. Like, you already got folks working out how to do NFT yield farming. Like,
that's already happening now. It's happening now. So
NFT.io.
I'm not giving out but you can find stuff out. Is my point. It's like Alan said. Either you're gonna put in the time, and I'll caveat and say you're gonna either put in the money. What I kind of see going on right now is a lot of people just want the pre-packaged thing to get the gain, but they don't want to do X amount of the work for it. And if it's not a convenient way of understanding it or being able to do it, they just I'm gonna just go to the next easy.
Let me say one thing to that though. NFTs are actually easier to understand. And here's an example. NFTs, let's just say it's a set of collectibles, or we'll put art to the side because I've got some art too. But let's take a set of collectibles. Let's take like you look at like CryptoPunks, these hash masks that just came out, Axie Infinity. These are like the popular Joy Worlds, Avastars. You got like a certain number, right? And the same thing about all of these is like these certain numbers, it's always a fixed amount or this amount, like a coin comes out. They got these set of traits. Some have this trait is more rare, this one's less rare, whatever, right? So really immediately you get that it's really some sort of like a game, like a collector's game. So think about
Beanie Baby
baseball cards, right? So let's just do basketball cards. There weren't as many Jordans in a set as there were I can't even Mark Elo or whatever cards, right? There was always not as many Jordan cards because they were rarer. It's the same thing. So NFTs with collectibles are just you're trying to get the rarest thing. That's not hard, and it's usually tied to a game or traits and things like that.
Let me caveat that then. As far as on the consumer, the person who wants to get one of these things side, that is definitely a lot more easier to do and understand compared to like just tokens and coins itself. But on the creator side, bro, tell me it's not a process. And
on the creator side, there's more work. But I'm not, listen, the people listening to this are more the retail end user, right? So what I'm trying to tell them is, like, this is really not that hard. It's actually much easier. I'll put it like this. It's much easier to understand what Axie Infinity is or CryptoPunk or CryptoKitties is than understanding what the hell Aave does. Do you see what I'm saying? Or even like you like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, so I see this. Now, real quick to answer your question, Crypto Blood, about how they get liquidity, right? Because you're wondering how do they like trade out of this, right? In case they want, if it's an investment, because let's just be about it. There's a project out there, and there's gonna be more of these, but it's about 2 months old. It's on Ethereum. It's called NFTX. So what they did is they took like the blue chip NFT projects and they created like an index fund, right? And then there's a bunch of these different NFT tokens inside this fund. Now what happens is piece of that fund you can essentially buy and sell on the market, right? But if you have a piece of, let's just say there's 10 pieces of something in one of these funds, right? Well, it can only fit 10, but if you have another 10, you can put in, if you have one of those types on the outside and you put it in, you get another one out, or you can trade it for a token. So I know I didn't explain it well, but what I'm saying is
almost making it fungible.
That's what I'm saying. So an NFT index fund makes it liquid in a way, right? It's that, so you're going to see that really blow up. To offer that. Now,
Lenny Kravitz, you got anything over here you want to add in?
Well, hear me out, right? There's multiple layers to this, right? It depends on how like technical you want to get, but there's a way to make a fungible layer inside of non-fungible tokens. And it comes down to like fully understanding the space. But for the most part, creators, all they have to do if they really want to get started is just go to OpenSea and do a gasless deployment. Like literally just upload their audio or upload their visuals into OpenSea and just, have at it. Like it's literally not that complicated on the surface if you don't want to care about the complications of other people buying your token after you've deployed it, right? So it just ultimately depends on what's right for the creator.
So I want to get to King's question real quick.
Yeah, a couple now actually. So I'm not deep into NFTs. For me, when they started popping up, and even as they are now, I do see a future in them. I think everything with a digital future has a future for the most part. But it's just nothing I'm interested in getting because I have so many projects. But with that being said, one thing I would be interested in knowing the NFTs and how it related to the regular market, which caught me by surprise. I remember at the end of 2017 when the ICO boom went crazy. The price went crazy. One thing I kept screening people from being in the military and know how they work. And I was like, wait until after Martin Luther King Day when these regulators come back and see what happens. So that's my question with NFTs.
Martin Luther King.
They haven't had that attention yet of regulators. So my question is like, what market are they displacing, if any? Like what traditional things are they displacing? We know that Bitcoin are displacing banks, and you see the FUD that comes from that. So my thing is like, okay, what are NFTs displacing? And then also, what, if any, entry points do regulators have on it? Because I think when we look at this entire market, we always forget about regulators and whoever that these projects are displacing. And I think we saw in the crypto market, we saw in the last 2 years during a fake bear market that the price can be suppressed by institutions and other people if it's allowed and isn't that popular.
So NFTs aren't disrupting or replacing any. It's an added layer, digital layer to real physical. Well, it can be digital things as well, but physical things as well, tangible things. So it's just that additional layer to allow people to trade those assets, those things that represent those assets.
So you're saying it was never any way to trade some of the artwork before they put it digitally. Now we can trade, so it's not displacing any market.
Yeah, it's pretty much a certificate. It's just creating a certificate of authenticity.
Pretty much. There you go. That's a good way of putting it.
So how do regulators and government get paid off it?
See, that's what I was going to ask next.
Where I'm going with.
That's where I was going to ask.
I'm So if an artist make a painting and they go to a fair or anywhere and they sell it, right? There's no regulator involved, right? Now they have to pay their taxes just like any other independent artist or independent, self-employed person. There's no different. What's the difference?
I agree with you.
I'm always looking for the feds,
but that's what
they somewhere around.
Listen,
Okay.
when I started, when I got going in crypto, it was still a fraud. It was still fake. No one cared. People hanging up the phone. Next thing you know, hey, you know you owe capital gains tax. No, I don't. What are you talking about? I thought this
No,
is fake.
so I get the tax part of it. Like Alan said, that's understandable. Like that's just a transaction. It's going to be capital gains or whatever. That's fine. But my question, Alan, is what does a regulatory environment look like for NFTs?
Because if it takes over how an ICO market does, like you all say, hey, this is going to be bigger than an ICO market, or
they're coming in.
They're going to come get their money.
They're coming in.
What it looks like.
Where's all the regulators for an art place, right? Like if someone sits at home, makes a bunch of paintings, and goes to some fair or
Celebs.
It's not a multi-billion-dollar project though.
Celebs.
You don't have a multi-billion-dollar industry around it when you do that. I mean, I
understand that. To me, it's a taxes question, not a regulatory question.
I hear you. Okay, maybe you're right.
That's how I look at it.
Taxes,
huh?
Like
not really, Trekk. Those are two separate things.
Here's why I'm gonna say it is because of how this technology is working right now, right? And then we could argue, well, not argue, but we could go into about how the marketplaces work, right? It's literally just me going on the website, looking what you got. Oh, all right, boom, I'm gonna connect my wallet in, buy it, boom, you get your thing. I go about like the marketplaces so far work like decentralized exchanges. And now we're talking about when the money really starts going in, and like, yeah, we made the 80 million or whatever on the Ethereum thing, but when you start adding the other blockchains, and then people start putting in real world assets into what we're going to tokenize as a thing on top of this new medium of content, like now we're talking money, and they got to figure out how do we get the money for the government. So you're talking to city coffers like what New York City did. You're talking to state coffers. Then you're talking about the federal coffers. Everybody going to want their cut. And then somebody's going to be like, oh, well, we're this department, just like what they do now between SEC, FINRA, IRS, and the other alphabet. Like everybody going to
agree with you, but this is taxes, man. I don't know how a regulator is going to come tell an artist who's most of these artists. Here's an example. I interview on my podcast a young lady from South Africa.
I got a question. Let me just really interject. Do you think they're gonna have a KYC?
That's what I'm typing right now. Money laundering, baby.
Yeah, KYC type of situation. You gotta be a qualified NFT investor. They're gonna make some shit.
Somebody gonna do it. So Nifty Gateway gonna do it maybe for those set of artists, but it's not gonna be a requirement. Come on, man. No.
Okay.
Really? Wait. It's not gonna be a requirement. Like all of a sudden, how you can literally get crypto for yourself, and then what do? They tapped in on the centralized companies. All of a sudden now, like you got people thinking KYC is a natural part of crypto, bro.
Which is crazy. Which is crazy.
You got some people thinking that. Not everybody.
Most of the industry. That's most of the industry
now,
Alan.
Bro.
Yeah. So my question is, because they gotta regulate it. Because think about it, fellas. I can see NFTs being a backdoor way into cryptos from a non-KYC perspective.
And that was my question to kind of go about it, because again, I agree with Alan what he's saying as far as I'm an NFT fan as far as anything putting on a digital space. My only question with some things would be onboarding, especially when they're talking about supply chains. But other than that, I'm all about digital, so I'm with you. Again, I had to reel myself in after 2017, 2018 to be like, it doesn't matter how good the technology is, it doesn't matter how good the market is, the community, none of these things, even if they don't have a case for it, they're trying to make a case. And I think something like what he said, what if that is the back door into crypto where, hey, I can buy some art or whatever, don't have to do this KYC AML, and I can pay with cash or in Bitcoin or whatever crypto I want. And now I'm in the market, and I can just trade that out, sell that out, and I'm in the market fully. Again, far-fetched, these are things we don't have to think about. I just think these are things we should think about when we're talking about markets eclipsing what we saw in the ICO market. I mean, literally the The regulators didn't come from the ICO market until about June or July, August. That's when you first heard of regulators talking about the ICO market. And that was like after some of those things came out, it was like, oh, $200 million here, $50 million here. They came out the woodwork. I literally didn't see it happening when they did it, to be honest, for myself.
No, you asking the right question, man. But I just think with NFTs, it's going to be hard for an artist to be like, hey, man, I created this. I could have just put this out on YouTube. And now I got to do all this. Like, come on, man. Like,
that's true.
So, off topic, real quick. 10 pound. Can you play some Stanley Clark School Days, maybe?
I'm sorry, I can't. My apologies. I've never even heard that song.
No skills, man. You can't just come up with a riff off the top, freestyle that, boy.
I don't even. I've never even heard that song before in my life. But yo, to actually try to play it, man. Take it back.
Try to play it.
Try to play. Go ahead.
Tell us what you think it sounds like. What does it sound like to you?
Play us something.
All right.
Somebody
I'm back in school. Yeah.
I'm back in school.
Yeah. Yo, but no, seriously though, hear me out. All right, hear me out. As for like money laundering through NFTs, right? I think that's a serious subject to be had, especially through like what Flow Protocol is doing with this whole NBA Top Shot stuff. You know, you got all these speculators like, you know, just bidding up these moments, these iconic moments in sports history, and it's insane, right? It's like, what's the real motive behind it?
Like, hold on. What do you mean? It's a collectible. Listen.
Yeah. I get that. I get that.
Top Shop is dumb, but it's a collectible.
It is a collectible for sure. But people aren't just using blockchain for this; they're also tapping into it with their credit card, right?
Yeah, bro. No, that's a way of money. That's a way of getting into the crypto space without KYC. So they're going to come in. I'm telling you, they are going to come in. Let this bad boy. Let a couple more people make a couple million. They will be here quickly. Don't worry. Trekk.
You're rich in 2 days.
Right. Trekk. I'll add it. All right. You got to say, man.
So what you said about the money laundering part, I can see that, but I could also see it. All right. So think about how China has their thing about capital flight, and like X amount of the African countries have things about capital flight too. So with the and this is another reason why I would see some jurisdiction is going to be the first one to do the shoulder tap gang, and it's going to be that, oh, we got to do something. It's either going to be a porn argument, illicit crime argument, or capital flight argument. One of those three things is going to be is going to be the gateway to be like, oh, we need to do some kind of regulation. How are they going to actually like choke or throttle the actual market platforms? I don't know that part, but considering that they are actually companies and they are actually in a place, somebody going to get tapped at some point, and it's going to be like, oh, you need to stop that person from creating. Oh, you need to stop that person from being able to buy. Like that's kind of, it might be a down the road situation, but once the money really starts moving, it's eventual.
Yeah. It's eventually.
If anything, again, it wouldn't make sense, like you said, Alan. It wouldn't even make sense for them to go after that because the artists themselves would be like, well, we're just not going to use these platforms. But I did say in the sense of like none of their moves are making sense. Our government just want money though, so I don't know. Like,
but they printing all the money at the same time. So
you mean allowing transgenders to?
I'm talking about crypto here.
Okay.
Here we go.
I thought you were talking. Okay. All right, fellas. All right. Tim Powell, can you play us? Can you play us the Chappelle Show? Chappelle Show.
You should be able to do that.
Yeah, you know how you do. You should be able to do that one.
Bro, I forgot that. Get those chords, man. I'm sorry, bro. That put me on the spot. I forgot those chords. I used to be able to play that.
You can't have a guitar in your hand and not think you're gonna get put on the spot.
Put this away, bro. That's y'all doing the most. Oh my days.
Oh man. All right, fellas. So, yeah, any last thoughts, man? I'll start with you,
Wait.
King
We didn't
Blood.
even.
Go ahead.
Wait.
Go ahead.
I thought
We
we
do
were
have
wrapping it
about
up
7
already.
minutes. I try to keep it at
Okay.
2 hours. I mean, we can go longer, but
Okay.
everyone here, I respect their time.
I get that. I mean, we were about to touch base on the Harvard astronomer.
Oh,
Yeah, that can we
Go ahead and
touch
hit
on
that.
that for real quick?
did
Let's do
anyone
that.
read? Did anyone look into that?
I mean, it's
I
not
know
far
Trekk
fetched to
didn't.
me that aliens have been on planet Earth to answer that question. For me, possibly, I think it's one of those things where, I mean, CB is in Detroit right now. We got way more things to worry about than aliens. So who knows if it's true or not, but I do think the way technology is
we got zombies.
Right. The way technology is accelerating is crazy. And by and large, I do think there are other life forms outside of Earth. And if that's the case, and if we are going to go to space one day, we're not going to go there with cash. We're not going to go there with gold. We're going to go there with some type of digital currency. That's
nice way to tie that into crypto. I love it.
He's right.
I love it. So we're talking about this Harvard professor. This is kind of off the crypto path here, ladies and gents. But this how do you pronounce this? Uamuma? I don't know how you pronounce this object that's been flying around in the solar system. And this guy is basically saying it can't be just an object because it's sped up after it swung around the sun. And he's essentially saying that, other scientists have been ignoring so many signs that we are not alone. What are your thoughts, Lenny Kravitz?
It's Mau. And I think it's crazy, really. But I believe that they're here already. There's this guy by the name of Phil Collins or whatever, and he says that they've got a city underneath the planet and stuff, and bro, they can shoot beams of energy and stuff. Phil
Collins?
Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah, Phil.
Toes?
Nah, man, this guy had his hand. His hand was incinerated, completely melted off, bro. And he was talking about a bunch of, bro, I'm telling you, the government tried to kill him. Bro, it's a crazy story, but it's real.
Yeah, look. All right. I don't know why. I'm thinking of Phil Collins as the artist person, but I might be confusing.
That's what I'm saying. Ain't that Popsicle Toes? Phil Collins?
Filling in the air?
No, that's filling in the air.
The tiger filling in the air.
Toes is whatever. Okay. So Trekk, what are your thoughts about other life forms, and how does that play into, if any, into what we're doing here on this planet, Blue Earth?
I think all right, and I did not read this particular article. Sorry, I had X amount of other stuff going on. But in the general question of extraterrestrial or other beings, I'm gonna say yes. I think there's let's just watch and see what they do. Let's see how long they could last on that dirt ball over there. That's blue. I think that's where we're at.
Yo, his last name isn't Collins. It's Schridinger. Schneider.
Yeah, Phil Schneider.
Yeah, Phil Schneider. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah,
okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, okay. Phil Schneider. Yeah, dude, absolutely got his fingers a blister, literally eviscerated, from this beam of energy that came out of an extraterrestrial. And there was this whole government cover up. His best friend died and everything. He died too. Rest in peace. But yeah, this. Bro, he's saying that the government has been hiding this underground base that these aliens have lived in for the longest time, and he just breaks it down and stuff. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna post up this video inside the StreamYards chat if you guys really want to hear this guy out. But he lost his fingers. He doesn't have his fingers because
how do you know aliens. He cut him off? Because he sound crazy.
I don't know.
Man.
Yeah, how do you know he didn't cut it off?
Right, he could have been on meth.
No, man.
This is my thing. So this is my thing about the aliens. Do I think that there are other creatures or races out there that's not the human race? Certainly, 1000% I do. At the same time, I think it's all, think about when I think we're all in a similar age range. when we grew up, there was always these videos of like, oh, this is an alien ship. Oh, this is that. How come when everybody got a phone now and essentially a camera in their hand, we all those?
I
right?
thought about that, bro.
That's what I'm
really,
like.
I have thought about that.
My whole thing is everybody literally is walking around with a video camera in their pocket now. If these aliens were around in the sky like they used to be, so that means one of two things: they were never there, or they know we have reached that point of technology where it's not safe for them to do that crazy stuff. Those are the two options. I do think they're real. I just don't. I look at time and universe on like different time scales. I think in our time scale is very small compared to like the grandness of everything. So you could have had a race completely light years away that existed and didn't get off his planet and died, and we never known about it.
I want people to go check out, type in on Google Bob Lazar, his story.
I watched that on Rogan.
Yeah, and he was on Rogan.
Yeah,
he was on Rogan.
Yeah.
That man, check out his documentary.
Yeah,
it was deep, bro. Did you see the actual documentary?
I did. Yeah, it was good.
What do you think about that story, Bob Lazar?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty
That one seems pretty compelling to me.
He either did a lot of drugs and really told the story really well over and over to where it just seems supernatural.
Right?
You know, until I need evidence. I need hard evidence. You know, so when I get some hard evidence, I'll believe they visited here. Do they exist somewhere in the universe? For sure.
All right. Well, I guess that's a good way to end it tonight, ladies and gents. 2 hours right on the dot. Let's start over here with King Bless. How can people find you, my man?
Yes, check us out on YouTube, The Gentleman of Crypto The Gentleman of Crypto. Just type that in YouTube. I'm thinking the website. Our website, gentlemanofcrypto.com, YouTube, The Gentleman of Crypto, or on Twitter, The Gentleman of Crypto. You can find me there at all those.
Gentleman of Crypto. I'm subscribing to you right now, man.
Appreciate it. I already followed you on Twitter too earlier when I was asking for all you guys' Twitter addresses. I got yours as well. And yeah, good convo for sure. Thanks for having me, Crypto Blood. Great convo. Of course, Trekk, I always see you every day when you jump in. And thanks for the support from you. Nice formally meeting you, 10 Pound, and Alan as well, man. So I'm glad to have these conversations with you all.
All right, cool. All right, King. I'll holler at you. So next we got let's do 10 Pound, man. Where can people find you, my friend?
Hey, so you can find me on Twitter at TPS0011, and I'm on Minds as well. I'm on Steam it as 10 Pound Sterling as well. Both those mediums. Yeah, feel free to shoot me a DM.
Cool. And Trekk, I know you came in kind of tail end, bro. Appreciate you coming in. Where can people find you?
It's simple. Just put in any search bar, TREKKW, the number 2, the letter K and S. No hashtags or special character needed. And my stuff will always come up.
And Alan, my man, Alan Hena, always a pleasure having you on, bro.
All right, man.
People find you.
Yeah, real Alan Hena. Just like it is there on the window on Twitter.
All right, there you go. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely do that as well. I think we are out of here, people. That's it. Episode 56. Holla.
All right, man.